Bafana Bafana played a 2-2 draw with Uganda, but what tactics did Hugo Bruce use and what went wrong and what actually went right? Let's look at how Bafana Bafana were using their defenders to build out from the back. They were playing this 2-4-1-3 shape, which had the two center backs and then the right back Umtao, left back Umotiba, and then Stoll and Mkwena in the middle. And right in front of them, they had Utemba Zwane, and the front three was Foster, and then there was Umkwana and Apolis as well. So they were trying to play in the shape to basically stretch this team of Uganda and make sure that they stretch the defense. And Umtao on the right, on the bottom of your screen, he was looking to be the fourth person to kind of change the system to some kind of a 2-3-1-4 at times, but we'll see some of the variation of this thing as the game continues. Now, early on in the game, Kwena fails to collect the ball and we already concede the chance, but I don't want us to focus on the negative for now. We're just going to look at the things that worked and then we're going to look at the things that didn't work later on. Now, as I said, we're trying to stretch Uganda, right? So as you can see, the beautiful thing that I hope you saw, Bafana Bafana here, they have our police dropping, but in him dropping, what is it doing? He's allowing Umotiba to have that space to run out wide, but at the same time, it opens up that space for Utemba Zwane to run into it. Problem is, somehow we're just failing to do this. And this was not the first time that we had attempted this. And then Umshishi came up with a plan. He was like, you know what? Being in that space, maybe I'm not going to get the ball enough. Now, look at where he pops up. He's ready to play the ball from there. And we're still seeing on top of your screen again, Motiba is out wide and our police has dropped into the half space. Now, what is happening now is we're playing the ball. We're looking for Umshishi because he's the one who's likely going to make things happen. But the genius of this is that there are so many things that are happening. Do you see, as I said, bottom of your screen, unfortunately, the camera was not showing, but there's Umtao there. And when that happens, that left back comes towards Umtao, there's that space. But we realize that, hey, we are not happy with this space that we have. So what does Mkwana do? He takes the second defender and he pulls him away. See now, he's pulled the defender down towards the touchline. Now we have that gaping space again. A huge space that we can now play the ball into. And the ball is played by Ustole to Umtao. And when that happens, that other defender is focused on what will Umtao do. And he doesn't see that behind him, there's Foster and he scores a goal. So there was a lot of individual brilliance in this goal, but there was also a lot of teamwork because they were just moving aside and making space for their teammates. And we'll see this again in the second goal. Now, Umshishi with his free role as he's a single player just in front of the four, he is that player who's just running around and finding space wherever. So in this case, as you can see now, this is a better graphic to show you the 2-4-1-3, right? So in this situation, Umshishi is once again alone because the two players in the middle, Ustole, are occupying the other players, and Uganda were quite aggressive in their press, so that left a huge gap in the middle, and Umshishi was always going to exploit that. Now Umtao dribbles past the player, Temba Mshishizwane gets the ball, and now look at what's happening. On the left side, you have Apolis stretching that defender. On the right side, you have Mkwana pulling the defender wide. Foster is now with two defenders, and we saw how that ended the first time around. Now, what we need to talk about in this case is brilliant again from Umshishi, but I have a problem with this. Why is Mtao not pushing into that space to kind of add more problems to the struggling defense, to the stretched defense of Uganda? The coach knows more, but I think would have gotten more if we would have pushed him much earlier rather than doing it when we're needing a goal. Now, this is what we need to talk about with Apolis. A brilliant player, but look at how many options he has. He can cut the ball back to Mshishi, can play the ball across to Foster, he can play the ball towards the far post where there will be Umukwan. But what does he do? at the end of the day, he ends up trying to shoot and it just doesn't work. And once again, we're talking about decision making because we're going to see the same thing here. The ball, Uzwane, it's played to Mkwana again and to Apolis. And this time, Apolis does the right thing, which is passing the ball across. But look at the man who's marking Mkwana. He's completely focused on what's happening there with Apolis. He's not aware that there's a man behind him. But the man behind him is also not aware of how much time he has. So when he goes to that ball, he's already just stretching and he misses. If you're enjoying the video up to this point, do make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Now, we continue here with the same theme. Bafana Bafana generating a lot of space, which is how you know that the tactics of a coach are working, because you see that Uganda stretched all the way to that point trying to press Bafana, but they're doing exactly what we want them to do. We're baiting the press, they come to us and we can just play the ball across. Look at Umshishi again being free, the ball is played to him and now he's just free to do whatever that he wants to do with the ball. Can turn around and cause more problems now. Now we're on the other side again with Apolis, who is very useful for us, by the way, because he's comfortable with dribbling past people. And in this case, he gets an opportunity once again, he doesn't do the thing that was supposed to do. And let's just revisit one more time the thing I talked about of constant rotations between Umtao and Apolis. You see, Apolis is dropping into the half space to kind of receive the ball in the middle and that open space for Umtao. And this thing happened a lot of times. And for some reason, Uganda were not seeing this, but we're just failing to make the final pass right. So second half, I even rewatched the second half, these minutes, Uguti, what went wrong with Bafana, and we're actually going to look at that, but not at this point. We're going to start by looking at some other things as well. So this is Bafana scoring their second goal, yeah? So look at the person that I'm using an arrow at, right? Foster, right? What does it do? He runs towards the top, right? Or the right of the screen, or top of the screen. But that's not where it ends. You see Reyners there, he also does the same thing. Now we've pulled two defenders and we've generated that space, but we're not done. Because after that, Mfukeng realizes, hey, I must also do the same. So he also runs toward the middle. What is the point? Look at Umtao. You see Umtao, not Umtao, Motiba, is now free to run into that space. And that number 4 I just highlighted, he is oblivious of what is happening because he's just ball watching. And everyone in that box is now occupied. You have that guy with Foster, you have the other guy with Urenas, you have the other guy who's looking at Urele. And this number 4 is supposed to be picking up Umotiba. Has no idea what is happening. And on top there, you have people marking. It's just like we're defending for our lives. But as history would have it, Motiba gets the ball, he's free, but here's a key thing. You see Umbata on top of your screen, he's not moving. He's not moving, he's just standing there because there is no point of running towards the ball, all of us. Someone must just stand still because the ball is going to drop at some point and he scores a goal and he gets us a point. So yeah, we're grateful to Umbata and it's good for him because this was his first game in the national team. Now, let's look at how Bafana were looking to defend. They were playing with the 4-2-3-1. That has a twist, right? And even in their press, because it was a formation, but it was also the structure they took when they were pressing. But there's a reason for this, and you're going to see in a second. Now, the whole point is to try and make these guys feel comfortable enough. There you have it, 4-2-3-1. Is to try and make these guys comfortable, feel like they are comfortable and they can pass the ball. We are setting up a trap because we want that guy that I just highlighted to think, I'm free to receive a ball. Not too much pressure, but just around him enough to make his teammates think it would be safe for him to get the ball. And if that doesn't happen, I'm still in a position, as Ustole there, he's still in a position whereby if the ball doesn't go to that midfielder and it goes wide, he's still in a position whereby he can go and gather that ball. You see that? So he wins the ball back and it's like hitting two birds with one stone, because if the ball is played to that guy, he wins it in anyways. But if they're playing it to the right back, to the left winger, he is also able to do that, to go and win the ball. And this is another case. Stole not pressing with the first four, it also allows him, when Umdau goes wide to press, what happens? Then Ustole can go to his position and try and win the ball from that place as well. So the press was working, and here's what I was talking about. You are not like man marking and too tight on him, but you're letting him believe that he will get the ball free. But I believe here that the pressure that Umkwena is applying, Ufoster did not do justice. It was supposed to help him press at that moment and win the ball back. Here we go again. We're letting them think, it's safe to play that pass. And when they do, Stolle is there to pounce and force them back. Doesn't win the ball back, but he doesn't also allow the ball to go to our half. And this is the best example of this. You just give them enough space, right? Just walking. And the moment they think the pass is on, Stolle is there. We win the ball back and we're in a good position. And Foster, I think he should have done better here, but it didn't. Last but not least, let's talk about the two horrible mistakes that we made that were avoidable, because if you look at Ustole here, he can play a simple one-touch Tungezana, who had worked hard to win that ball back, but it doesn't. But the thing doesn't end there, because Umodiba could have gone closer to press that guy. Did he? He didn't, right? And after that, there's a second thing. Dudley could have come closer again to press this guy. Did he? He didn't. So the guy just shoots with so much space, and that's a problem. Here's another thing. Ustwal is a very good player. He can turn around with that ball and carry it. But for some reason, he's panicking because we just considered a goal and now we're rushing things. We lose the ball, and yes, it is his mistake, but Velimoto, come on. He should have done better. You know it. I know it. But what did you guys think of the game? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Like the video and subscribe and share with your friends as well.